Hi, and welcome to week 6 of the Emergency Learning Plan. We are still in persuasive writing, and this week we are going to look at revision and self-review. And this is going to be your third checkpoint. So the learning target is I can revise my persuasive essay by completing a self-review and revision checklist. So you want to go ahead and click on that, and if you're watching the video, then you already have. Okay, if you have any questions for this week, make sure that you go ahead and put it in the week 6 emergency learning plan parking lot. My office hours are Tuesday and Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You could also utilize my email, slsmith@vbschools.com. If you put any questions, in the parking lot or send me an email outside of those hours, then I'm going to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, make sure that you place them in that parking lot. And Let's Meet, that's where I put any information regarding our Google Meets. All right, so you can join me if you have any questions about this week's lesson or any other week's lesson if you're playing catch up. I'm available actually, since I'm recording this for both classes, my times of availability are different. But you can go ahead and check Let's Meet, and it'll let you know the times that I'm available for your class. And it'll also provide you with the meeting nickname. And you can just log on and ask me any questions that you have, or just come on and say hello. I'd be happy to see your face. All right, after that, you want to go ahead and click on the video walkthrough and instructions for this week. And again, if you're watching this, you have already done that. And it says, welcome to week 6 of the Emergency Learning Plan. This week, we will continue the writing process as we start to finish the last few weeks of your 7th grade Advanced English class journey by writing a persuasive essay. For week 6, you'll complete checkpoint 4 and make sure that any work from checkpoints 1, 2, and 3 are finished, okay, or that you've made any changes that I've sent you to any other work, and you want to make sure that, some tips to help you out this week is to read the instructions and watch the videos in order. If you skip over the directions, then when you get to the assignment, you really might not know how to do it. You want to take your time. Don't rush. It's not a race. If you have a question, again, you can put it in the parking lot or message me on Schoology. If Schoology goes down or something isn't working, don't panic. Chances are I already know, but you can definitely, if it's something that is going on for a while, just shoot me an email so we can try to figure out a solution for you. You want to make sure that you look over your work before submitting an assignment. And you want to look it over to basically make sure you're turning in your best work and to make sure that it's complete. You don't want to turn anything in that's incomplete. Once you have fully completed the assignment, you want to make sure that you click submit. I haven't received your paper until you've submitted it. So make sure that you take the extra step and click submit, and that will allow me to look over your work and provide you any feedback. So once you have looked over this section and you finished reading and watching the walkthrough for this week, you want to move on to the next item. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what that is. All right, so next is the engage section, and that's going to be your warm-up for this week. Go ahead and click on that. And for the warm-up, it says, what does the word revision mean to you? So you want to explain in 2 to 3 sentences what the word revision means to you. You might also think about giving an example. If it does not, you want to give an example. It does not have to be an example from English, but it can actually be anything to help people understand what the word means and specifically explain what it means to you. So after posting your answer, you want to respond to 2 or 3 of your classmates to build on their discussion and what they've written. Okay. So once you've finished the warm-up, then you want to go ahead and click on the explain, and that's the self-review checklist for revision, and it's actually a video. So when you click in there, I'm going to go ahead and review the checklist with you. And it says revision is critical to producing your best piece of writing. Once you have completed your rough draft, it is important to reread and improve your paper before publishing your work. You will use the self-review and revision checklist below to guide you through the revision of your persuasive essay. To review the components of the checklist, click here. And when you click on that, what you're going to see is this checklist come up. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and see the checklist, and it will have various things that you need to do when you're reviewing your rough draft. Okay. So the next section is going to be an actual copy of the checklist. Oh. Let me try that again. All right. So this is going to be where you'll find your copy of the checklist. And it's your copy because I made it so that you can check off or X out any items on the list as you go over them. You can type any notes that you have regarding your essay on that paper, of any ideas that you have or anything that you might want to correct or go back and fix. So you can go ahead and mark on this paper, and it's going to bring up the exact same checklist that you reviewed in the next section. So you want to make sure that you read it over and then go ahead and keep it up, because you're going to need that checklist to complete the work under the apply section. So if you are able to use split screen, then that would be wonderful. You won't have to toggle back and forth. If you're unable to use split screen, then you'll just be doing some toggling back and forth, okay? But you'll want to keep this checklist up while you're working on the apply section. Okay, so once you get to the apply section, the first thing that you want to do is please watch the video. It will provide you with directions on what I'm expecting and how to complete the apply section. Now on the video, I just gave you a little snippet of highlighting and completing the task. Your essay, of course, will be a complete rough draft of an essay. All right, and once you get to the actual apply section where you are expected to show your work, you want to click on that, and it says organize your paragraphs from checkpoints 2 and 3 to create your rough draft. You should have an introduction, 2 to 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. After you have set up your rough draft, evaluate your essay using the checklist found under the self-review checklist sheet. Then revise your revise your essay as needed using your findings from the checklist. Split screen, again, will help you with this because you can have the checklist up on one side and then your essay up on the other. But again, if you don't know how to use it, that's fine. Just toggle back and forth, completing the task. So once you have completed the self-review checklist and used it to revise or improve your essay, you want to submit your revised essay draft to your teacher. So what you submit will have the highlighting marks on it. Don't worry about it because it's just a rough draft. Okay, so I'm expecting to see those highlighting marks. So to see an example of an essay that was revised using the self-review checklist, you would just click on that and it's going to go ahead and pull up an example. So what you turn into me will be similar with all the highlighting marks to this one, okay? All right, and last but not least, you are more than welcome to complete the optional reflect activity. Now it is optional, so you do not have to complete it, but if you would like to complete it, please do. And for the optional activity, you are going to use the attached rubric to score your own essay draft. And you'll be able to use that to see how you did. So it says, how did you do? If you noticed things to improve, good. You can make note of those for the final draft. And because, again, this is just the rough draft, writing is never done, it's only due. So there's always room for improvement. So if you want to do the optional activity, you just click on the rubric. And it will, when it finally comes up, here it comes, it will show you the different things that I'm going to be looking for when I read over your final draft essays. And so you can use that to see if you have those components in your rough draft. And if you don't have certain components or you feel that there's anything you can improve upon, you can just go ahead and make note of that so that when your final draft is due, you've included these elements. Okay. All right. So basically, that is week 6 of persuasive writing. We are doing some self-review and revision. Again, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to put them in this week's parking lot or bring them to our Google Meet. Thank you so much, and I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your week.